So there is a question in interviews that makes even confident candidates pause. What is your strength and weakness? Personally, I used to dread this question because no matter how prepared I was for the interview, the moment it came up, I started overthinking. If I talked too much about my strength, I worried it would sound arrogant. And if I talked too openly about my weakness, I worried I would disqualify myself. So what did I do? Like many candidates, I gave the safest and most forgettable answer. I am hardworking and my weakness is I care too much. Sound familiar, right? But over time, I've realized something important. This question is not a trap. It's actually an opportunity to demonstrate self awareness, credibility, and professional maturity. Because, from a psychological perspective, when interviewers ask this question, they are trying to understand three things. Do you know what you are good at? Do you understand your limitations? And are you actively growing? Let's break it down to answer this question in a way that is going to be honest and then strategic. So let's talk about the weakness without sounding arrogant. When interviewers ask about your strengths, they are not looking for a long list of personality traits. They want to understand what you do well and then how that helps the organization. A simple structure that works very well is the strength, the proof, and then the relevant structure. Let's break it down for more clarity. So, first, identify your strength. Second, support it with a proof. That is a real example or experience. Thirdly, explain the relevance, why the strength matters for the role. Example, instead of saying, I am detail oriented, you could say something like, one of my core strengths is attention to details, and in my previous role, I once caught a design error in a proposal that could have cost the company nearly $30,000. Since then, my team often asks me to review important documents before they go out to clients. I believe this strength would be particularly useful in this role because accuracy and quality are critical in the type of work your team does. Now, notice what happened here. You didn't just tell them your strength, you showed them. And psychologically, stories create credibility. Because the moment interviewers hear a real example, their brain starts picturing you performing in a role. That's powerful. So let's look at two, where you are talking about your weakness, but you don't want to disqualify yourself whilst doing that. So let's look at the part that makes people uncomfortable, your weakness. So many candidates think this is the moment where they are being tested or judged harshly. But that is not usually the case. Employers already know something very important. Nobody is perfect. So they are not expecting a flawless human being. What they are looking for is self awareness and growth. A strong weakness answer usually has three parts. That is a real challenge you have experienced, what you have realized about it, and then what you are doing to improve. So, example, earlier in my career, I struggled with delegation. I tended to make on too much responsibility myself because I wanted to make sure everything was done correctly. But as I started managing larger projects, I realized that that approach wasn't sustainable. So I've been intentionally working on trusting my team members more, setting clear expectations, and allowing others to take ownership of tasks. It has not only improved our team productivity but also helped colleagues grow in their roles. Notice the difference here. You didn't just pretend to be perfect, but you also didn't present yourself as incapable. Instead, you showed reflection and then growth, and that signal is maturity. So, before we close here are a few practical tips that we can make that can make a difference out of. So first, avoid glitches like I am perfectionist unless you can support it with real story. Second, never say I don't have any weakness. That usually signals lack of self-awareness. And then thirdly, choose a weakness that is real but does not directly prevent you from doing the job. Fourth, for your strength, always align them with what the job actually requires. And then finally, practice out loud. Not to memorize a script, but to become comfortable telling your story naturally. And then remember this, employers are not looking for superheroes, they are looking for real professionals who understand what they bring to the table and who are actively improving in themselves. So the next time you hear the question, what is your strength and weakness? Please don't panic. Use it as an opportunity to demonstrate clarity, credibility, and growth. Once again, my name is Edemte, a strategic HR professional and a career coach. If you found this helpful, kindly like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you would like a personalized support preparing you for interviews and positioning yourself strategically in the job market, please feel free to send me a DM for a one-on-one coaching session. I'll look forward to helping you succeed in your next interview. Thank you.